thanks for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. That was some of the weirdest stuff I've ever heard, Jamie. Applaud like you've just had a poo. Who does that? It's a big week for me, ladies and gentlemen, big week for me. Last night I proposed to my girlfriend. Don't get too excited, she hasn't texted back yet. No, she's my wife already. I've been married for a long time, so you don't let yourself go like this unless you've been married for a while. It has been a big week though. It's my birthday this week. That's alright, that's a customary thing. That's a customary thing. My 8-year-old son made me a loom band. It's his birthday soon, let's see how he fucking likes it. I tell you something going on in my house at the moment. My wife is tired all the time and she vomits every morning. I think we all know what that means, don't we? She's back on the heroin. My kind of people. Fucking hell, you are young. You look like you can remember your first wank. Can you? I can remember mine. Forget his name. I sat in the toilet today for 3 hours. 3 hours. Nothing happened. In the end, I thought to myself, I don't need this shit. I read a magazine this week. There was a photograph of 90s rapper Coolio. Give me a cheer if you remember Coolio. Not you. Who remembers Coolio? Yeah? Have you seen him lately? Fuck me, he's put some weight on that boy. Apparently he's been living in a gangster's paradise. It's an interesting magazine I was looking at. It was an interview with the actress Billie Piper. Billie Piper, she said, after playing Doctor Who's companion for so many years, playing a prostitute really stretched her. Graphic, very graphic. It's nice that you're laughing. You seem like a good comedy audience. That's nice. It's good to be in front of a comedy audience. For the last few weeks I've been doing TV warm-up work. And I don't like that. And people say to me, why don't you like it? It's glamorous. I say, fuck. It can be. I've got a friend who does it with Jonathan Ross. He's met Tom Hanks. He's met Will Smith. He's met Quentin Tarantino. I've got a friend who does it with for Jules Holland. After the show one night, he was drinking whiskey with the Rolling Stones. That's a music band. I have to explain everything, aren't I? That's quite glamorous, isn't it? I don't get any of that. I tell you who I get to do TV warm-up for? Jeremy fucking Kyle. There's no glamour there, my friends. Very few teeth. And the nature of the TV warm-up, man, is you have to interact, have a bit of banter with the audience before the main event. I remember the first day I got there, I went out, there was a young girl in the front row, about 18 years old, sat next to a guy who was about 45. I looked at her, I said, is this your dad? She said, fuck knows. But it is nice to hear you laughing. Comedy can be quite a daunting experience. I remember the first time I ever did a gig. It was a baptism of fire, I think is the appropriate term. I went out, it was in front of 800 people at a festival. It's quite a big deal, isn't it? It's quite a big thing, go out in front of 800 people, never done it before. I went out, did my best. I thought they enjoyed it, I enjoyed it, I came off. The promoter came up to me, he said, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about, Rob. I said, what's that? He said, well, first, one thing, you seemed a bit nervous. I was a bit pissed off. He said, really burst my bubble, you know? I said, did I? Just then, out there on a stage, under the spotlight, in front of 800 people, they're all staring at me, waiting for me to make them laugh. A bit weird. He said, don't be sarcastic. I said, I'm telling you for your own good. He said, but you need to not be nervous. The audience need to see that you're confident so they can relax and enjoy the show. I said, I disagree. I said, I don't think it matters if you're nervous. The important thing is that you're funny. He said, yeah, that's the other thing I want to talk to you about. But no, I do, I'm better than I was. When I first started doing comedy, I used to get really nervous. And nobody's more surprised that I do comedy than I am, right? Because my inner critic is harsher than most. You're all familiar, I'm sure, with the concept of having a voice on one shoulder that says one thing and a voice on the other that says something else. What I get is a voice on this shoulder that says, "What are you doing, Rob? You're wasting your time. You're never going to make it. You're shit." And I get a voice on this shoulder that says, "He's right, you know." Pair of pricks. But despite these feelings of inadequacy, this lack of confidence, as I say, I didn't manage to persuade a woman to marry me. I actually met my wife speed dating. Give me a cheer if you've ever been speed dating. Fuck you! That's not helping the confidence at all. Well, when you go speed dating, right, you have to ask questions about each other to find out as much about each other as quickly as you can, right? So when I went, my wife was sat opposite me. She wasn't my wife then, obviously. That would have been weird. What are you doing here? Looking for a man with a big cock. I said. But no, she was a perfect stranger at the time. She sat opposite me. She looked at me. She said, "Pick 5 words to describe yourself." I said, "I'm inarticulate." Working its way through. Missing a couple of people on the way. For those of you that do get that joke, congratulations. For those of you that don't, congratulations means well done. But that was a long time ago when I met my wife. We've been together quite a long time now, and I tell you what, after all these years, the sex is shit. It is awful. It used to be good. When we first got together, she was quite violent? Aggressive. Better word. She was an aggressive lover. She used to grab me by the collars. She'd look at me and she'd go, "I want you." That's not the joke. That just makes it sound like you think it's implausible. "I want you." She doesn't say that to me now. The most seductive thing my wife says to me these days, ladies and gentlemen, is, "Do you want to try and have sex?" Do you want to try and have sex? And the reason she says that is because she knows there's a fairly good chance it's not going to work. It's not that I'm bad at it, and it's not that she's bad at it. It's just that we've had a lot of sex with each other, and frankly, the novelty has worn off. We were talking about it, right? She came up with the perfect analogy. I said, what do you think has happened? Where do you think the magic has gone? And she said the strangest thing. She said, "Do you like lasagna?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "So if you came home tonight, there's lasagna on the table, you'd say, 'Lasagna? Oh, great, I love lasagna.'" I said, "Yeah." If you came home tomorrow night, there's lasagna on the table, what would you say? I said, "Lasagna, twice in 1 week. Lucky me." I said, "Well, twice in 1 week, that's quite nice. But after 10 years, that lasagna's been on the table every night of the fucking week." You're looking at that and you're thinking, "Oh. I used to love lasagna. But now I've had so much of it, the very sight of it makes me feel physically sick." And she said, "That's what I think when I look at you." Which is clearly preposterous, because she loves lasagna. Although she's never asked for seconds. But yeah, we're trying to liven things up though. We went to a wife swapping party. That's quite bold. That's a bold middle-aged move. Went to a wife swapping party. I made a schoolboy error. I didn't realise it was just for the one night. I looked like a fucking idiot turning up with all those suitcases. We're reading a book on erotica. No, brace yourselves. This is not for the squeamish, but in this book on erotica, there's a section called food. It tells how to use food in an erotic way, right? And it says that the woman should pleasure herself with her favourite chocolate bar before eating it seductively in front of her partner. It's not to everyone's taste, but I'll tell you one thing. Just put her right off Toblerones. I bought one of those giant duty-free ones here in a fucking aisle. Should hear the noise it makes. we started watching pornography. Anybody here watch pornography? Yeah? Well, of course you do, you're 10. You probably, how old are you?
22.
Liar! You probably watch more pornography in one day than everybody else in this room put together, except me. We started what kind of porn? Don't say anything, that really makes you look dodgy. Lesbians, isn't it? The art of window shopping. Lesbians, can I join in? No! Back off. You're 14. I'm 22! We started watching pornography. Pornography's weird. Pornography is weird. It never used to be when I was a boy. It was quite an ordinary, straight down the line kind of thing. Now it's gone very weird. Every fetish, every kink, every perversion, you'll know, anything that you'll be into is catered for on the internet. My wife said to me, she said, what can I do she was, to satisfy your deepest sexual desire? I said, would you mind popping out for 20 minutes? But we were looking online. Weird, I was going to have a wank. That was the joke. We were looking online. I found the strangest website, right? Strangest website. I found it quite disturbing, to be honest. It said, do you want to have sex with nasty British grannies? Nasty British grannies. Even he's shaking his head. And he said anything. But yeah, he said, do you want to have sex with nasty British grannies? I thought, no. No, I don't really. And I thought, how weird, how specific is that? It's specific enough to want to have sex with British grannies. But to insist on top of that they be in some way spiteful. It's just fascinating. But she did surprise me one day though, my wife. She came home with a sex toy. It was a frightening looking thing. It was a big black dildo. She showed it to me. I looked at it. I was curious. I said, what are the straps for? She explained. I said, no. I mean, none of that. But she's a very persuasive woman, and eventually she turned me around. Anyway, I was at the doctor's recently with a bleeding arse. And it was a difficult thing. I was embarrassed because of the way it came about. And I went to the doctors and I said, look, I'm really embarrassed. I didn't want to tell her how it happened, but I said, I've got some blood in my rear end. I'm really embarrassed. She said, don't be embarrassed, Mr. Hughes. I'm a doctor. I deal with this kind of thing every day. She said, just go behind the curtain, take your trousers off, get on the couch, lay on your side, and bring your knees up to your chest. So I did. She came in, put a latex glove on, put a lubricating gel on her finger. She walked behind, she said, Mr. Hughes, I'm about to insert a finger into your anus. Just like that. No banter. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. And she put it in, and she said, does that hurt? Now, there are a number of ways I could have responded to that question. I could have said, no, it doesn't hurt, no, it's fine, no, it's okay. I didn't. When she stuck a finger in my arse and asked me if it hurt, I said, no, it's nice. It wasn't nice. It was a little bit nice. I didn't want her to know that. So I looked over, I thought I've dug myself into a bit of a hole. And I'm going to dig myself out. So I looked over my shoulder at her and I said, I don't mean it's nice. Obviously it's not nice. What I mean is, I've had worse. And I meant pain generally, not specifically in that area, right? But I could see from the look on her face, she was thinking, I'm sure you have, Mr. Hughes. which is why we found ourselves in this position, isn't it? But yeah, it's a funny thing. We use the internet a lot. You're all Facebookers and whatnot, yeah? Yeah. Facebook fascinates me. You get these petitions every day, don't you? Sign this, you're going to solve that. Sign this, you're going to stop that. It's beyond the fucking joke, right? I had one come through the other day. It said, sign a petition to get Robert Mugabe out of Zimbabwe. Do you not think people have tried? You understand? It's not going to help. Do they think they're going to sign this petition, get enough names, and one of Mugabe's henchmen is going to go up to him and say, President Mugabe, I think it is time that you step down. Why? There are insurgent groups rising in the streets, paying for your blood. There's chaos all around Zimbabwe. Nobody wants you here. Fuck them! This is my country. I will step down when I decide. But Mr. Mugabe, there is something else. What is it? There is a Facebook present group. How many names? 48. I'll pack my things. Fucking nonsense. Fucking nonsense. But I saw this other one, weirdly. It said, Robert Mugabe is a cunt. Right? Simple, just a group. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to post on it, you just have to join it to say, I agree, Robert Mugabe is a cunt. Right? 114 members. Millions of people all over the world on Facebook. 114 people think Robert Mugabe is a cunt. Now, I think that's weird. I saw another page, said Robert Mugabe is a complete cunt. 11 members. What's happening there? What's going on there? People are going online going, oh, what's this? Robert Mugabe is a cunt. Oh, the man's a despot and a tyrant. Carried out horrendous acts of genocide. Can't argue with that. Oh, what's this? Robert Mugabe's a complete cunt. That's a bit harsh. Absolutely incredible. My wife and I, we argue, right? I know I make it sound like we've got the perfect marriage, without fucking me up the arse. But you're not allowed to wank over that later. That's a rule. We do argue though. We argue with silly things, right? We got a cat recently. I didn't want to get it. My wife wanted to get the cat. We got this cat. I don't really like it. She loves it. I said to her, what is it you like about the cat? She said, well, for a start, the cat is a very hygienic animal. I said, is it fuck? She said, it is. Just look at our cat. I said, what about it? Well, our cat washes its bum all day. I said, with its tongue. There's nothing specifically hygienic about that. But anyway, you're assuming the cat is washing. Maybe the cat's just into it. Maybe the cat's just a fucking pervert, just sat there licking his own arse all day. I said, if you were to walk in on me, I said, hunched over, and trying to stick my tongue up my arse, your first thought would not be to commend me on my personal hygiene. She said, you're being ridiculous, Robert. You're not a cat. That's how cats wash. I said, all right, fair enough. She said, what is it you don't like about the cat? I said, well, the cat doesn't shut up. Gets on my nerves. As I come in, as soon as it sees me, it's over to its bowl. Meow, meow. What's food? All right, fair enough. It's the only way you can ask. I'll put up with that. So I get the food out. It can see the food. It can shut up now, but it doesn't. Meow, meow. I'm putting food into the fucking bowl, and it's still going meow, meow. That's like me sitting in a restaurant with my food in front of me, going, I'd like the bolognese, please. I'd like the bolognese, please. I'd like the bolognese, please. The cat's a fucking idiot. Right? And I thought then, what if, it's a long shot, but what if the cat is not asking me for food? What if cat is actually trying to tell me something in its own cat way? What if the cat is actually saying to me, you know that lady that lives here with you? Well, when you were out, she came back here with another man. And they went upstairs to the room that you both sleep in and took all their clothes off. And she lay down on the bed and he washed her very thoroughly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. I've been Rob Hughes. Good night.